I want to show you how to barb your hair by yourself. If you have moved abroad or you are based in any of the countries like the UK, United States of America, Germany, Australia, any place where the cost of barbing, getting a haircut is quite high, you want to pay good attention to the things that I'm going to say now. First, I've mentioned that I've been cutting my own hair since the year 2022, and this clipper you see here has been serving me since the year 2011. So you could imagine how much money has been saved. The first thing to do is to select the step of the clipper that you're going to use, depending on how much hair you want left on your head. In this situation, I'm using what is called step 1 because normally, even if I went to the barbing salon, I always came back with a low cut. And the low cut is what you're going to see me do here. But if you are somebody who doesn't like the low cut, you select the step and then you set your clipper blades. You adjust them just as you see me do right here. So this particular handle on the clipper helps you to adjust the blade. The closer the two blades are to themselves, then the lower the clipper would cut your hair. But if you separate them, adjusted it such that the lower blade is a distance away from the upper blade, you get your hair trimmed with a lot of hair remaining on your head. But what you do is the blade setting you select and the step you select will become the constant factor if you are somebody who wants to do a low cut like myself. If you don't want to do a low cut, then you might have to change your blade or change your blade setting or your steps a number of times in the process of cutting the hair. Once you have the blade set and the step fixed, all you just need to do is to carefully move the clipper over your head. The clipper is going to cut your hair just at an equal level for as long as the blade and the blade setting remains the same and the step remains the same. So usually, because I'm right-handed, I start from the right side of my head to start cutting the hair. So I move from front to back. But usually the direction of your movement depends on the direction of your hair, like how your hair is growing. For some people, if you barb from front to the back, then you don't get a perfect level. But what you can do in that case, if you don't know the direction of your hair, is to barb from front to back. And then after that, you go over your hair once again from back to front. So in this case, you see me going from front to back. After a while, you see me also coming from back to front. That's just the way I do it. And then it continues like that. Then when I get to the left side, there are two options. I could use my left hand. Again, for those who are just starting out, trying your left hand might not be very easy for you if you are right-handed, but over time you get used to it and then it becomes relatively more flexible. This whole process took me less than 30 minutes to finish, and that would have saved me about 20 to 25 pounds. That's in Naira, somewhere around 50,000 Naira or close to 50,000. Now you see at this point that the blade goes off. And once the blade is off, I have to now restore that blade back to the clipper. That's what I've just done here. And then I continue the process of cutting the hair. You could see that I am not necessarily seeing the back of my hair. I don't have a second mirror to view the back of my hair. The back of my head, but what I do is to use my free hand to rub over the head. So again, you gain this with experience, but if you are just starting out, have somebody to stand behind you and see that you are getting everything to the same level. For me, because I've done it over a number of times, I could use my hand to track the level of the hair that is left on every part of my head. And so I do that and I can trim down the parts that are not at the level that they are supposed to be. So for you who is watching this, you may not get the perfect idea of how even the hair finally becomes because the direction of the light coming could also suggest at some point that one part of the hair is has more hair left and one part has a lower level of hair left. But This is what I've been doing, and I've always got it very correctly. What you could also do is that at the end of doing this, you could take up your phone and then do a 360-degree video of your head after you've done the barbing, and then you just view it and you see the areas where there is more hair left, and you can trim that area down a little bit. Remember, as always, the constant factor is that the blade setting must be the same, and then the step you have chosen must also be the same throughout the process of the barbing. As you barb, you see some hair come off, and then you might need to clean off the clipper blades, and you continue the process. Sometimes your your step might shake, it might move. You have to just go back, set it back again, and continue the process. And over time, you get this process sorted, you get everything finalized, and then you just have your hair properly done. To save your time, we're going to fast forward this to the finished product, and then I'll just show you the other bit to it. The other critical parts of barbing is shaving your beards and then lining the hair after barbing it, or what people call carving the hair. Usually, when you are done barbing with your step 1 and the setting that gave you the low cut, you usually adjust the clipper blades such that the 2 points, such that the two are at the same point with themselves. Basically, you just use the adjusting knob to move the lower blades backwards until it's aligned with the upper blade. However, as an individual, I don't like keeping the two blades at an equal level, because that way you risk cutting into your skin. And because I don't usually keep the two blades at the same level, that's why I see that I don't really have bumps around my jaw. So what I do is I take out the step 1, but I ensure that the upper blade and the lower blade are separated to the maximum possible points on the clipper. And so you just use it that way, and you go over the hair. But at this point, I'm just trying to show you that you could actually, if I wanted to have the beards kept, I could go around it and trim it in the way I wanted. But I'm not in the bearded gang group. I don't really like keeping beards that much. So I trim it down as much as possible whenever I decide to trim it. Sometimes you could find it looking a bit bushy, unkept, but whenever I decide to, I go over it properly and take it down, so that I don't have to do it in the next 2 weeks, or in the next 1 week, I would say. At this point, given that the step is gone, you need to get your mirror closer, because any simple mistake you make here could leave you with more hair on one side than you have on the other side. So you could see it if you wanted to be somebody who just trims the beards without actually shaving them off. This is how you go around it. You choose your clipper setting, your blade setting at this point, but I would always advise you, don't have the blades too tight or too close to themselves, because otherwise you risk getting yourself cut or injured. Now, those injuries could lead to bumps, but with my setting, I get the hair to a level that I want to without actually shaving down to the skin of the face. Now, you do that and then you go over it. I would just fast forward it at this point so that you don't spend so much time watching this, but that's the way it is. You use depending left hand, right hand, you shave it down from whatever direction. It could go from the underneath of your jaw or from the side of your jaw downwards. You just get it trimmed to an equal level, and the next thing you now do is to line the hair itself, or to shape it, as some people would like to call it. But before that, if you are one of those people who like to keep your beard shaved such that you have it rounded around, trimmed off around your cheek, but left on your jaw, this is the way you go around it. You just shave off the other part, leave this other part, and then trim it out as you may want. That's not the aim of this. I just wanted to show you that this is how you go around it. gradually from the sides and from the underneath, and then from the sides you then use the clipper to get it to the level you want. At this point, remember, if your goal is not to have it evenly shaved, you would need to have your clipper steps at hand. Step 1 or step 2 might help you get the level you want left. For me, I just don't want to shave down to the skin such that I avoid injuries. You go over the mustache as well, and everything, you clean them up as supposed. After that, the next part you want to go to is to shape your hairline, or to carve, as some people would prefer to call it. Now, at that point, you will need to adjust your clipper blades properly, such that the two ends of the blade would be equal. The reason you do that is because your hairline needs to be as sharp as possible, and when the clipper blades are on the same level, you get the sharpest arrangement for the clipper. So you do that, and then you get your mirror close to yourself, because this is a very critical component of cutting your hair. So you carefully begin to, you choose your direction, your starting point, depending on the nature of your hairline. For some people, it's a bit more complicated because their hair doesn't grow equally. And then for some others, it's a bit easier because their hairline is already looking naturally carved, like mine. You do that over the hairline, get it as sharp as possible, and that would be you done. For me, I normally don't shape the back side of my head because I've had a relatively bad experience with that in the hands of a barber before. It's always difficult, and I don't like that experience of having to cut that part of the head. So I just take out the clipper and then ensure that I level that part down, ensure that all the hair around it is cleaned up, and that is usually me. I'll show you the finished product now, or the finished work just now. After this lining of the hair, the clipper still had to go over the head itself, because as you would see in this particular, at this point, there are still some parts of the hair that's higher than the other parts. So to make that even, the clipper would still go over the head, but I'll show you the finished product so that you see how it looks. It's not the easiest of things to start with, but it's also not too difficult for you to do if you put your mind to it. This is Academy of Scholarships and Transitions, and now you see the finished product here. That's how it looks, and that's how you would get it done if you follow the steps that I've shown you here. It's not too difficult, it doesn't take so much time, and it saves you just a good amount of money. Over time, that money begins to accumulate. Somebody actually asked me in the comment section of a post I made about this, why I would choose to do it myself if it's not too expensive. The point is not about the one-off costs. There's a cumulative cost associated with it. And also, if you check the cost of time that you would spend going out of your house to the salon, or waiting for someone to come get you into their program to be able to come to your house and do the haircut at home, all of that could add up to a significant cost. That's why I encourage you to learn it and do it by yourself, especially if you are not one of those people who want to do the craziest of hairstyles. That's what I told you before. The clipper would go over the head again after the trimming or after the shaping to clear off the areas that looked relatively uneven. That's the finished product here. Rate it in the comment section on a scale of 1 to 10.